So I haven't blogged anything for the first 3 days, mainly because I've been um, too immersed in a world of misery, I think, and exaltation. Um, so so full on has been the experience. It's only got to about now where I've had a bit of a break and a shorter day's walk. Um, and some fine weather to sit down and actually just reflect upon on the first 3 days. And it's strange, this whole walk has surprised me in so much as it reminds me of one's own mortality. Um, the the way that it builds you up spiritually, um, breaks you down physically. It's almost like the cycle of nature, building you up, making you grow, and helping you grow, and then breaking you down and returning you to the dust. Certainly found, under the weight of my pack and the miles, and my own frailty, being ground into dust by my environment, and what I'm putting myself through. So I think it's been a challenging few days, and the first day was full of hope and elation and probably a bit of naivety. The pack was heavy at 16 to 18 kilos is quite heavy, but I didn't let that dent my enthusiasm and just skipped along, and it was really good. I probably ignored some of the signs of the aches and pains, so I should have strapped up a few sore hot spots on my feet at an earlier stage, but I didn't. Lesson learnt. As soon as you feel it, stop it, and strap it up. Otherwise, it become a bit more difficult. But you know, uh, as I said, I think the sort of boyish enthusiasm of starting this walk, and the excitement sort of made me ignore what my body was telling me. And certainly, my back pain has increased under the weight of the pack. And I'm very glad I brought some painkillers along for the evening to allow me to sleep, because my back is feeling very crunched, I think. So disproportionate. I love taking the kit for comfort, but when it breaks your breaks your soul and breaks your spirit, maybe it's not such a good idea. And today, on the third day, I've ditched a little bit of kit. Maybe a bit of a colder night, but maybe a lighter day. So so that's that. On the first day, it was wonderful. Arrived at this beautiful woodland site overlooking it quite high up. Most of the sites I've got are quite high up. Woodland, which is quite high, overlooking Exmoor and the Quantocks, looking out from the Blackdown Hills. Absolutely stunning. Um, I chose an old grove of western red cedar, beautiful green all year round, and very little undergrowth. Western red cedar, a bit like beech, suppresses the ground, the growth underneath, so I don't have to brush clear anything and disturb anything to set up camp. So I did that. So it took me about 2 hours. Ridiculous. It took about an hour and a half in the morning to break camp. It has for the past 2 or 3 mornings, and that means that it's got to improve, because if I'm taking that much time setting up and breaking camp, half my day's gone. And so if I get up at dawn, it's sort of like early mid-morning by the time I'm leaving. So I've got to get myself a little bit more savvy, and sort of shipshape in terms of getting going in the mornings. And also, the other thing is that drinking more water more frequently. Now, I'm not taking water with me, and sort of sourcing it en route because it's heavy. I do take the opportunity now and again to load up with some water, but I purify it and clean it, boil it, or treat it en route from the streams and ditches, and watercourses that I find en route. This does also mean, because I'm not carrying much water, I'm dehydrated. And on the second day, yesterday, I really felt it. It's a much warmer day, unlike the first day, which was fine until the end of the day, which was quite wet, and obviously dampening the spirits when you get into camp, sopping wet. But yesterday was very warm, very sunny, caught the sun a bit, and didn't drink enough fluids. And by the end of the day, I was delirious. with a very, very bad headache and very, very tired, and aching joints, much more so, being dehydrated. So lesson learned, drink more frequently, source some more water. So that's what I've done today. I've been drinking quite a bit today. It's been a lot easier. Today, the third day. So second day was good. It was difficult running walking through some very marshy areas called turbaries, which are basically sort of high ground, which is marshland. It's just it's a wet, marshy woodland. Absolutely wonderful, teeming with wildlife. Really feel like going back in time. Absolutely wonderful. But the ways through it are so muddy. The mud, the sucking mud, almost sucking your boots off, and the insects, even at this time of year, which is mid-late April. They're out, they're biting, they're feeding on you. There's swarms of them, and with a heavy pack sliding around, getting bitten, it wasn't fun. So that added to my sort of miseries, really. This walk I was hoping that I would spend some time reflecting, not only improving my physical health, which at the moment it feels like I'm killing myself, but improving my mental health in terms of time for reflection, time for philosophical inner discourse, if you like, reflecting and thinking about the beauty of nature. But to be fair, that it's been so pressing the moment of discomfort, of exhaustion, of dehydration, of tiredness, of the demands of knowing where you're going, trying to get where you're going before dusk, the stresses and strains of camping in a very stealthy way, leaving no trace, being hyper aware of your movements and how you stand out in the countryside, being really, really silent. All of the stresses and strains of the moment has pushed everything else to one side. Day to day is not, but it is a bit like survival. It places you very much in the present. So there are moments, snapshots where, so last night I chose a beautiful camp spot in amongst some beautiful tall Douglas fir, and the smell of them, you can tell when the sun's out, this sweet smell, and slipping off to sleep. Hard though it is to come, certainly in the first nights of camping, but it made easier with this beautiful smell of Douglas fir, and the soft needles underfoot. A beautiful environment. So you can appreciate it, but they're short-lived at the moment, and I'm hoping on this walk that this will increase. And day 3, end of a short day where I haven't absolutely beasted myself, I'm here in this beautiful woodland here at the edge of this beautiful valley, which I should just sort of pick up and just show you, is absolutely stunning. It really is. A beautiful place to spend a few hours and spend the evening. So that's what I'm doing. Big walk tomorrow, so a short walk today, and I can sort of blog and make some notes and reflect upon things, which is lovely, and give my body a rest. And then tomorrow it's 16 plus miles, a big hike up onto Exmoor. I don't have a camp spot earmarked, which is giving me a bit of anxiety. So starting really early and arriving quite late. So there you go. Speak again tomorrow.